Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Hey traders, John Howell here. Just going to give you guys a quick little update for what's actually happened this week in the markets. Look at the Dow Jones, S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. And also I want to be looking at silver and gold and all that sort of stuff. Before I do start, guys, I want to make one thing very clear with you guys, okay? I've had some people in the chat box or in the comment section say, John, you were bearish 2 weeks ago, now you're bullish. And the whole thing about trading, especially looking at the daily charts, like if I look at the daily charts right now, 2 weeks from now, it's going to present a different picture to me, all right? It's going to be, the market's going to be telling me, either the same story, which is an uptrend right now, or a week from now, we could be starting to develop potentially a bear market. You know what I mean? Like, we just don't know. So if you are following the markets, if you are trading the markets, please flow with the markets. Please don't be so rigid one side or the other, because the market's not like that, right? It flows, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. So flow with the markets. And I am not a bull or bear in the markets. I'm a trader. What I mean by that is that when I have my trading system, and then I trade my trading system. Some of them are going to make losses. Most are going to make profits. Rinse, recycle, repeat. You make money. That's where most of you guys that watch this video here, please listen to me here, okay? This is where most of you guys are getting it wrong in the markets. You think you need to be right. You think you need to know what's going to happen tomorrow. You think you need to know what's definitely going to happen to make money. In order, you don't. Okay, I see so many people out there that are willing to throw, like someone put $200,000 on Masvidal to win. You know, what's he gonna win? It was 3-1, so he's risking 100% of $200,000 to make 600 grand. Where in the stock market, I know I could place a $200,000 bet, and if I'm wrong, I could probably get 100 grand of that back. You know what I mean? And if I'm right, I could probably not only make 3 times the money, but 4 or 5 or 6 times the money. One of my recent successful trades is I did over 1,000% return. You know, so that's like 200,000 into 2 million. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's like the interesting thing about trading, guys, is that the only way for you to really move forward within these markets is for you to be following some sort of a plan. Like any plan out there, just follow it. And if you are not a professional trader, one, listens to the markets. So we're flowing with the markets. So the markets are bullish right now, so we go with the markets. Or if they're bearish, then we go with that. But on the flip side, a professional trader, he trades his system, right? He has some sort of a system. And it doesn't matter what system you trade out there. The most important thing to you as a trader is that you have a system that you follow. Because if your last 5 trades are based on 5 different things, there's no probability on that. Remember, there's odds there, right? You have an odds on your side, a win-loss ratio on your side. And if you are if you have 5 different trades based on 5 different systems, there's no odds there. There's no success there. You know, there's no win-loss ratio there. How can you see the win-loss ratio of a pattern if you're not following it? So I see so many people, you know, risking and gambling and all that sort of stuff within the stock market, and it's not like that. Okay? The success that I have and some of my private clients have, I say some because some of them are just downright doing what most of you guys do that watch these YouTube videos, which is looking for that quick tip, looking for exactly what's going to happen tomorrow. And that's the complete wrong thing to do. And the reason why, I'll explain the reason why. You may have a setup that gives you an 80% success rate. Now, hear me out here, okay? The success rate. I said an 80% success rate, right? So I said 80% success rate. Let's just say it's going to have a 1-to-1, a 1-to-1 success rate. You're going to be risking, say, $2,000 every single trade to make $2,000 every single trade, and you're going to have an 80% success rate. Okay, but here's the thing: did I say 80% of the time, the very next bar you get into, it's going to run on for a profit? No. Right? So if you get into an entry, let's say for example, this is your entry bar here, but you know 80% of the time it's going to get up to here to give you 1-to-1. Well, you don't have to know what's going to happen tomorrow. You just know that it's going to get there 80% of the time. So the next bar might look like this, and 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 the next bar look like that, like this, and then like that. Do you see what I'm saying there? So if you're trying to predict exactly what's going to happen tomorrow, that's the wrong thinking to your success in the markets. Completely wrong thinking. See, the way that I've been successful in the markets is I don't try to predict where it's going to be tomorrow. I just know by the time I get into my trade and by the time I get out of it, whenever the market tells me to get out of it, I know most of them are going to be successful. It doesn't mean, like for example, I'm in one trade right now. I've been in that trade now for 2 weeks. That thing's done nothing for 2 weeks, and it's just today right now, it's up like 15%. Do you know what I'm saying? And we're just starting to get rolling right now in the trade. Now, sometimes I get into the trade and the market takes off like that and gets the profit target or whatever your exit is really, really, really quickly. So 80% of the time we're going to hit the target, and then maybe your stop is at the low of the bar, and then maybe when the bar does that, 20% of the time it does this. So that's your system. So that's the reason why, guys, like if you're trying to predict exactly what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day, you don't need to. You just need to know, okay, this is my setup, and I know once I get into this particular setup, 80% of the time we're going to get here within a couple of weeks, or 20% of the time we're going to get here in a couple of weeks. And if you can start to build that around your foundation, guys, you can do so well. If you're looking for that quick tip, you're going to completely blow yourself out of the water. Once again, I am not a bull or bear in the markets. I don't give a rat's ass damn shit about what the S&P 500 or the Dow or the Nasdaq is doing. I analyze those for you guys, but guess what? There's plenty of stocks in a massive bull market right now that are making all-time new highs, and there's been and also there's plenty of stocks out there that are setting up to really be really nice short signals as well too. I'm not a bull. I'm not a bear. I'm a trader of a system. And so when you have that, you have a neutral bias, and you have a neutral bias around who gives a shit what the Nasdaq's doing or the Dow Jones doing. What's the Dow Jones doing right now? Continue to step up. So we have a low, a higher low. We're having a bit of a pullback here. So as long as we stay above this line through here, then the Dow Jones is bullish. Remember I said before about 80%? Well, what happens if this was your entry bar? I'm not saying it is, right? What happens if this is your entry bar and the market went up and then the market went down and the market went down through here? See, if your emotions is all over the place and you're freaking out about 1 or 2 days and you got too much money on the markets, this is where you go wrong. This is where most traders out there go wrong, is because they got too much money on the markets and one little down day is freaking them out because they can't lose any money. And so what will happen? The market might do this, say on Monday next week. And if this was your entry signal, but you had an 80% success rate that's going to get up to here, you would get here, you would get out because you can't handle it anymore. And then a week later it does that. How many times have you seen that? So that's the reason why, guys, success is all about this. What is your system that you're following? What's your success rate, your win-loss ratio? And then you want to be able to trade an amount and a risk an amount that you need to let it go. Okay, because your fear of losing money is actually causing you to lose money. So you may have, so say for example, say for example, the system you're following has an 80% success rate. Well, if you can't handle the swings and the emotions in the markets, or swings and a little down day, little up day, little down day, little up day, sideways movement, all that sort of stuff, and you can't handle it, well, I don't give a damn rat's ass about the testimonials that you read or the success rate of the system. The system has nothing to do with your success in the markets. Your consistency of that system has everything to do with the markets. And this is where, guys, you are blowing yourself out of the water and you are making this so difficult. You have this completely wrong in the markets. You're buying high, you're selling low. and all that sort of stuff. You don't understand that there's patterns out there that work majority of the time. And when you do get into the trades, if you're freaking out every single day in the market, oh, it went down today, oh, you got that wrong, and all this sort of stuff, guys, you're doing yourself a fucking dissatisfaction right now. You just need to slow down, you need to calm down, and when you are trading these markets, you need to be in a position where you're not affected by 1 or 2 days, and like you just say, okay, if this is a losing position, then it is. So, but what happens is here that the system may give you an 80% success rate, but I guarantee you most of the traders, and that's why, guys, if you see testimonials or success rates and all this sort of stuff, then the only way that you can adapt, the only way you can do that yourself is if you follow it 100%. And guess what? You don't follow it 100%. You'll follow all this other bullshit, and then guess what? You get a whole bunch of doo-doo, right? A big doo-doo out there. So here's a little bit of a rant for you guys. But this, if you have an 80% success rate and you buy into it, this has an 80% success rate, but you don't follow it, or you do follow it, but 20, 30, 40% of the time when it does do this, you freak out and get out for a small loss, and then it runs off for a profit. Now you probably turn it into 60% or even 70% loss, 30% win. Your success, this whole success here, 95% of your success comes from you consistently following this, not trying to, I hope it goes up tomorrow. Who gives a shit about what happens tomorrow? I don't give a shit, right? We shouldn't be trying to hope and hope and hope. No, don't hope and pray. Just say, you know what? I'm in this trade and I'm doing it right. And then 5% of your success is a system. Because I can take a good trader who's consistently following a system with a 50-50 win-loss ratio, with a 3 profit to 1 stop, and absolutely skyrocket his account, compared to a bad trader with a 90% success rate system who doesn't consistently follow it and blow up his account. A good trader, follow his system. Bad trader, all over the place. Pick and choose, get out, emotional, blah, blah, blah. This is where you're blowing yourself out of the markets and out of the water. And that's where, guys, if you're trading these markets, you have it completely wrong in the way that you're approaching these markets. And if you want to become part of this trading world, I didn't make the rules. I just follow the rules. And the rules simply state that if you're not following some sort of a system and you're not doing that consistently, there's just some sort of rules, you know what I mean? Like it could be an uptrend with a breakout bar or something like that, with an increase in volume or whatever. It doesn't matter what you follow, just follow something consistently, because that's where your long-term success is going to be in the markets. So if we have a look at the Dow Jones, have a look at the S&P 500, we are still squeezing up. In the last few videos, same sort of thing. We're probably likely to break out of this level through here on the S&P and probably run up to all-time new highs. The way that this thing's looking, it looks like we're probably pausing through here before we go through another run. And the Nasdaq's also still looking strong in a very nice upward trend as well too. So the overall indices right now, guys, are looking really, really, really strong. And it looks like there's going to be a really nice bullish move coming out of the indices. The Dow Jones is still in a bullish mode right now. We're breaking out. We're having a little bit of a pullback through here, but until we actually break below 26,000, you can't be bearish on the Dow Jones. Please, guys, listen to what I just said there. You should not give a rat's ass what the Dow Jones is doing right now. You should not give a rat's ass what the S&P is doing right now. Why? Because that has nothing to do with anything, right? For example, Nasdaq is up just slightly. And if I look at the S&P, right? S&P is up just slightly. But in the S&P 500, there's many stocks that were down 6%, 4%, 5%, 10%. Makes sense? So this is where you have it completely wrong. And if you want to become part of this trading world, then you need to start playing with it. Otherwise, you're going to keep blowing yourself out of the water. And 90% of you guys here right now are just not going to make money. And if you're absolutely dead serious about doing this well, you need to get your shit sorted. Because if you are not getting your shit sorted simply means you need to start following something consistently and being hard on yourself when you don't. And then starting to get better at trading the system. See, my success in the markets, guys, have come from one, recording every trade, secondly, reviewing every trade, and then thirdly, improving. And the record every trade, review every trade, and improve every trade. Now, review like maybe once a week, once a month. But when I improve into improving for me, started off with how good am I actually following my system, and then improving. Initially was that, but then improving for me was I'm realizing that I'm jumping out too early with these trades and not giving them time. And I realized that I had a 90% success rate in the system, but then I personally actually had only about a 60% win-loss ratio. I'm like, why is this? And then I go back to those trades a month later. I'm like, oh, well, if I just stuck to the actual rules, yeah, they went against me initially, the 1 or 2 days or for a week or so, but then 2, 3, 4 weeks later, they actually eventually ran on without actually hitting my stop loss. And because I quickly got out because of the emotions, I actually was losing money because of my emotions. It had nothing to do with the system. And this is when I started really learning it. And now I just place the trade. Like I'm in trades right now. I'm in many trades right now. It's like, I don't know. I don't really care. So there we go, guys. This is the reason why most people won't make money in the markets.